He don't want her.
Damn.
I'm gonna say this to y'all every week till y'all get it. Next scene.
Wait, we didn't finish that.
Bitch, you ain't listening.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome to our channel. This is
Sugar.
And I'm Spice. We are so happy to have you here. Today we're going to be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 11. If you are new here, welcome. And if you have been here before, we are so happy to have you back. So today we are going to have a subscriber shout out. Our subscriber shout out is going to be Edwin Vega. Thank you, Edwin. We really appreciated your comments in our last Married at First Sight video, and we really appreciate the engagement and the subscribe. If you are not subscribed, please take this opportunity to hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so you can know when we drop a new video. And don't forget to give us a like and a comment as well. And we're going to start our video. We're going to start off this scene with Clara and Ryan and Virginia and Eric. So they are in a group scene together. And in this scene, Clara and Ryan actually mentioned that they feel really, really married. Eric and Virginia are very lovey-dovey in the beginning of the scene. And they mentioned how they have already said, "I love you" to each other. From that point, you know, Clara shows that she is visibly jealous that they have said "I love you," and, you know, they haven't got there. Clara and Ryan haven't gotten there. From that point, Ryan is asked a question about his last relationship or his longest relationship. He said they made it just shy of 2 years and he never said "I love you." So Clara kind of harps on him and says how she thinks that's really, really weird, and I agree with her. I think that's a little bit odd because that's a long time. You know, Clara does mention that she is moving some things into Ryan's place, which kind of makes Eric and Virginia look at each other. But she does mention that at 6 months, if she doesn't hear an "I love you" from Ryan, that she's out of there. And she's kind of giving him an ultimatum without saying it directly to him, which I don't really agree with. And she mentions that she has like a friendship companion love for him.
I think that the only reason that she's saying that is because she already knows how she is. And according to her, she said that basically she kind of admitted that she's already there. She's just waiting for him to get there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a protect myself kind of thing. Like, I know I'm going to get there. So if you don't get there, that means I'm going to be there by myself. So before I be there by myself, I'd rather just be by myself, if you know what I mean.
Then we'll go to the beginning of Clara and Ryan's scene where Clara is actually moving stuff into Ryan's house. So while she's moving stuff into Ryan's house, she seems really, really stressed out. She is thinking about rearranging like where the projector is going and furniture. She says that she wants all the furniture out except for his lazy boy. Ryan makes a joke about having to clean and get stuff out of a drawer, and Clara the joke goes completely over her head, and she's just not really hearing anything. And Ryan is just looking like he's overwhelmed in this moment, and Clara is just doing her mile-a-minute thing where she's just continuing to talk. She's not really paying attention to him and what cues that he's giving her to show that he's overwhelmed. And I kind of think that this is what's going on in their relationship. Like, he gives cues of how he feels, and she doesn't really see it because she's too busy talking too much.
Clara is quite the overthinker, so I know people like that. My mom is like that, actually. She kind of gets in her own head too much, and she just is worrisome, and she thinks. And then when she gets in that space, she just kind of blocks everything else out. She's not really paying attention to what's going on around her. And I think Ryan's like, okay, you're blocking it out because you're thinking and it's stressing you out, but you're blocking me out too. So, but he doesn't say it. He doesn't verbalize it. He's just kind of like, I'm just gonna sit here and look annoyed, but it's like that's not enough.
I feel like that's why they have such a disconnect in their relationship because he's not. I don't know what Ryan's thinking. I don't think anybody knows what
Ryan is incredibly
thinking.
difficult to read. To me, he just gives off the impression that he's not really that interested in her just in general. Like, I feel like he thinks she talks too much. I feel like he thinks she's a lot to handle. I feel like she's just excessive to him. He's like, her personality kind of like annoys me a little bit. But let him tell it. Yeah, we're on our way to, me and Clara, we like this. That's my ride or die.
It's so weird. Exactly.
I don't see no part of what I've seen y'all interact with each other and think like, oh yeah, like they are really feeling each other. They really vibe together. They really mesh together. I don't see that at all. So I don't know what he be talking about. I be like, are you just lying? Are you scared to hurt her feelings? What is this? I don't know. Like I said, I could be wrong because he's difficult to read, but I just don't really feel like, I still don't feel like he really likes her as much as he says he does.
So then they move on to their 1 month anniversary. And Ryan actually remembered that Clara said that she wanted to go on a helicopter. So he takes her to a place where she could go ride a helicopter, which I thought was really, really sweet. From that point, Clara asks him, what is the highlight of what has the highlight of the marriage been for you? And we get this really long...
The highlight?
Awkward pause. Think about it.
You know what? Being with you every day? Huh?
Oh, God.
I was like, he really couldn't think of anything. I felt he just threw that out there.
He
was
just like,
ooh. Best part? You said the best part? Oh.
Wow.
It was such a struggle to get there. And when
and
we got there, it wasn't nothing there.
Oh no!
But he on his way to being in love.
I'm confused.
All right.
I'm so confused. So then they're at dinner. Then at dinner is still some awkwardness at dinner. I don't know what this mysterious elephant in the room.
Sexual frustration, perhaps?
That part. That could easily be fixed. Like Ryan.
He's
not
doing it because he don't like her.
I don't know. I'm just not used to the guy not wanting to do it.
How many times I have to say this?
I don't get it. I don't understand. You know what? Maybe I'm like Clara. Like, I don't understand.
He don't want you.
It's not registering. Like, it's just...
I understand.
Why not?
When I see him do the things he does for Clara, like, oh, the helicopter ride, people might be like, oh, he's in love with her. I think he just might be that type of person in general. He just might be a thoughtful person in general. Like, he might be like that with his friends. Like,
you might have a point. Because the vows were really thoughtful.
That's what I'm saying. Before you even met her.
Yeah.
That just might be him. That doesn't mean he wants her in particular. He don't want her.
Damn.
I'm going to say this to y'all every week so y'all get it. Next scene.
Wait, we didn't finish that.
Bitch, you ain't listening.
Wait, we not done. So then they're at dinner. Clara says that she is ready to hear I love you in the confessional. And it's just like, I don't know how you're ready to hear I love you after 1 month of being together and you still have not really fully had him yet. So I don't know why you're so ready to rush till I love you.
I think it's just a comparison thing. She's just like, everybody else is doing it.
Oh, that's so immature.
Okay.
So then Clara says that she has no complaints about the relationship to Ryan. Like, everything is great. Everything is fine. She has no complaints. Ryan gets asked by producers, like, does he see himself falling in love with Clara? And he literally says,
yeah, sure.
We're on our way there.
We're on our way. Yeah, sure. Every time someone asks him, do you love Clara? Do you feel like you could see yourself with Clara or something along those lines? We're getting there. We're getting there. He always says, we're getting there.
And they watched the wedding day video and, you know, it's nice and sweet and all of that. And then we find from Clara when they end off the scene that she doesn't know what she's going to say at decision day. But it's just weird that that's how you would end off the scene when you said that you have no complaints to him in front of his face. But then now you don't know what you're going to say on decision day. Like, they're not communicating.
This whole relationship is a lie.
Yeah.
Ryan is telling her not to say a lot of stuff on camera. This whole thing is a lie.
That's true.
It's probably a whole bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes we don't know about.
Yeah, you might be right about that. So then we move on to Haley and Jacob. And Haley has a friend who is into tarot card readings. So they are getting their tarot cards read. So a friend is like super specific. She's telling Jacob that he is putting too much pressure on the situation, and the pressure that he's putting on the situation is causing Haley's anxiety to flare up, and it's just like, girl,
we know Haley told you what's going on.
Come on now,
you her friend.
Come on.
But okay, we'll play along.
So then she talks about Haley, and then she talks about Haley trying to control the relationship. And, Haley agrees. She says, oh, well, yeah, I don't know if I'll call it control, but I guess you could say I try and, take a little bit of a lead here and there. And so, Haley is not really taking accountability for her part that her friend is talking about. So then the tarot card reader says that they're actually very compatible. Like their moon signs are compatible, and that their relationship on paper, I guess, seems really, really good. So then the friend says that Haley needs to work on being defensive, and then at that point, Jacob, gives her a look, and she gets defensive and says, well, no, not just me, both of us. And it's just like, you're proving the point of being defensive. She wants to make him share the blame for why the relationship is not progressing, when in reality it's all her. So then they go into the winery for their 1 month anniversary. And Haley is looking at this as a reset because she feels as though because they are so aligned through the tarot cards that maybe she needs to try and give this a real shot. So they look at pictures from the wedding, and they kind of go through them and have their own individual reactions. And then we see a flashback of when Haley was doing her vows. When Haley was doing her vows, she said that she's going to be like a glass half full girl. She's going to be very optimistic, and, all of these things that just don't pan out to be true in the actual relationship. So then they see this picture of their kiss, and Jacob is just like, awkward kiss. And I think at this point, he's just feeding off of Haley, because those first few days, he was really, really happy to be with Haley and around her. And now he's just like negative because she's been giving him negative vibes, for the past couple weeks. So he says, how the F did we get here? And once he says that, everything goes downhill from there.
Then Jacob goes to the confessional and he says, in hindsight, when she kissed me, it did feel like a very awkward kiss. It did feel like she was trying to pull back from me immediately and didn't want me to kiss her. And I feel like the reason it kind of went left is because now the first 4 days he kind of was like, oh, I have these good memories from the first 4 days. We were clicking and then something went wrong. But now I think he's looking back at, hindsight is 20/20. I think he's looking back and he's realizing, okay, what I envisioned was good actually wasn't. So like now so now he's seeing it in a completely different lens, and he's adding it to the duration of their relationship together, and he's realizing like, this is all bad. All of this has been going left from day one. I just did not realize it. So now it's kind of like a bitter thing going on with him. And I think that's where he was like, how the F did we get here?
Right.
Because I thought we were here. But clearly, this was all a lie. Right. So he's just like, because he's like sitting there swirling his drink. He's like, Yo, freaking what, Haley? Huh? I'm sick of you. You know what? That's when he just kind of like leans into her. He's like, and another thing. He just starts going down that path. So she kind of tries to give a toast, and she was just saying how, even though we didn't live up to our vows, all we have now is to just try to be positive and move forward in the next month coming. And she's trying to just make it seem like, oh, we can do better. We can do better. And at this point, I kind of feel like Jacob feels like she's insulting his intelligence.
Right.
Because you're telling me that it can get better, but you know in your heart of hearts, you're not attracted to me. You don't want me in any way.
Capacity.
So you're really just lying to my face, saying it could get better, expecting me to give you all this energy and try to convince you to fall for me when you know that's never going to happen. So why are you doing that? So now I feel like that on top of him looking back in the past is making him even more mad. And he's just like, girl, what are you talking about? You're not making any sense. There's nothing I can do here. Let's wrap it up. So basically he says that we're not connected. I know that you're not attracted to me. How can I make a connection with you with that in the back of my head? How am I supposed to feel comfortable with you knowing that you really don't want me? Where's this going from here? How can it go anywhere from here?
Especially with her not even trying as well. It's like she wants him to make the effort, but then he's also waiting for her to make an effort as well. So it's kind of like, how do I keep making an effort to keep getting rejected and then for you to not even try? It doesn't make any sense. So then at that point, Haley is trying to almost flip the situation. He said something along the lines of, this marriage hasn't been on the right track since day 4. And she was like, oh, well, how long have you known that? He's like, well, since day 4. And she's like, oh, so now you're just telling me that? And he's just like, yep.
Which is ironic because you know this relationship is not getting any better and you don't want him. You could have told him day 2, more than likely. You already knew from the jump that you weren't attracted to him. But here you are, dragging it.
Trying to make him the person who is messing up the relationship when it's really been you the whole time.
And that's a theme in your relationship. You're always trying to make it seem like, instead of it just being that I'm not attracted to you and I don't see this going anywhere, you're trying to make it his fault somehow. It's not his fault. You just don't want him.
According to her, it's so easy for me to like get along and be attracted to people. I just don't know why. It's not. It's just not making sense here. Like, you're still making it his fault. Like, it's your fault.
I usually don't have a problem connecting with people. I don't know what's going on with you. Like, why are you doing that?
That's not okay.
You're just saying that to try to alleviate your guilt or whatever it is, but it's not working. I think you think that you're hiding your emotions a lot better than you really are. He sees all your nonverbal cues, your little and your eye rolls and your how you tense up around him when he tries to show you any type of affection. He's gathering all this information.
Absolutely.
And he knows you don't want him.
Yeah, and he mentioned the hug thing. And that was like, to me, that was the most basic thing you could do to show affection, is a hug.
So apparently they were trying to build a connection. They had decided they were going to give each other a hug a day to, basically build up the physical connection between them. And she just felt like that was too much. He said she had a disgusted sigh after a hug, she just felt like, I just feel like this is too much. And she was like, it's because it's always got to be something physical. He's like, girl, it's a hug. Girl, you hug strangers. She says, oh, well, it's easy for me to hug strangers because I'm never going to see them again.
Well,
but it's not easy for you to hug your husband who you're going to be married to and live with for the rest of your life. You're not making sense. You never do.
That's okay, because Jacob made sense out of it for her. He said, well, you may not have to see me ever again when this next month is over.
It's over.
How about that?
We discussed this off camera. Haley is kind of a Chris. Chris is Haley.
Yeah.
Haley is Chris.
Yeah.
They're just different versions of each other.
Yeah.
Because just like Chris does not want Paige, he's dragging her through the mud.
Yeah.
He's dragging her through it. He plays the game, the back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, baby. I think, hey,
Not cool.
Straight yo-yoing. And Haley does the same thing.
Yeah.
He straight out said to her, so you just don't like me.
Mm-hmm.
No, what? No. It's not.
She can't be honest.
It's not that. I'm just saying, like, right now, I just don't feel like, why? That was your perfect opportunity to be like, you know what? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You're not my type. It's just not working.
Right.
We could just be cool. Y'all probably could have just been cool, done whatever activities they had for y'all throughout the rest of the season, and went your separate ways amicably.
Right.
But instead, it's not going to be anything amicable about it because you're dragging it and you're lying to his face and you're just being difficult.
Yeah.
So, good luck with that. Then Jacob says, well, I guess we'll just die a slow death. You know, sometimes I'll just wake up feeling dead inside. That had me cracking up. Because I'm like, I mean, it is what it is.
It's true.
It's time to cut out all the trying to be
already.
cutesy and trying to be nice. Let's get right to it. He's like, I feel dead inside. Set me free. Like a bird. Let me go.
Poor Jacob.
Poor Jacob, man.
Hey. Jacob is not a willing participant.
Hashtag free Jacob.
Yo. So then we move on to Vincent and Brianna. And Vincent and Brianna are going to celebrate their 1 month anniversary too. Vincent actually surprises Bri with a boat date. And from there, they watched a video of their wedding, which, oh my gosh, is super, super cute. I did notice though, while they were watching the video, that Bri was smiling super, super hard when they were going over, she's nice, but she's bossy. She's fun, but she's bossy. I was
like it was a smile cringe.
Yeah. I think looking back at it. Yeah, she really didn't like it looking back at it. Brianna says that she feels like she understands what unconditional love is.
After 1 whole month.
This is dangerous. This is dangerous. When you are, because you could start off tough and rough and then end off good. But sometimes when you start off too good and stuff starts getting rough, it throws you off guard. I don't really feel like.
And then when you fall, it's a long way down.
It's a harder fall when you're not expecting it. Now, you talking about unconditional love. Y'all ain't even been through nothing. Y'all argued about salsa and champagne. Like, what is you talking about, Bri? There's a lot more to marriage than that little bit y'all done been through.
She did make it seem like they've been through a lot, because now I know.
Oh, my God.
What unconditional love is.
No.
Throughout the whole episode, a lot of the couples are putting an emphasis on this 1 month thing. Like, oh, we made it.
But the first month of anything is good.
That's still the honeymoon stage. I think they putting it under the umbrella of being married. That married layer on it, it's like, it is a little something extra, but it doesn't make it like, oh, we done been through so much.
No, it's not as heavy
after
as
a month, child,
yeah.
you can make it past a month, you can make it to any. Like, that's not, that's what they're giving, but that's not what it's giving.
Right. So then Bri asks, Vincent, or they ask each other, like, you know, do you feel married? And they say, no, you know, I don't feel like, you know, married. I feel like everything's been so fun. I feel like, you know, I don't feel obligated. You know, I feel like this is my choice to be here and be with you. And to me, that strikes me as a little weird.
You're saying, no, I don't feel like I'm married because we're having a good time. So you thought marriage was not having a good time? So then why did you sign to be married? That's confusing.
It's really confusing.
They both kind of talked about it in a negative light, like, yeah, I don't feel trapped and just, oh, it's like, what?
Yeah, it was confusing. I think
Torture?
at that point, yeah, like, but you signed up for it, so why would you?
Very confusing.
So that's how we end off Bri and Vincent. So then we move on to Eric and Virginia. So Eric and Virginia, they say that everything is going great. They bring up the conversation that they had with Clara and Ryan about, you know, Clara already moving some stuff into Ryan's place. And they ask themselves, do they think that they should be there yet? So Eric starts off and he says, well, you know, since I've done this before. And Virginia's just like, bro, like, I really hate it when you do that.
I hate it when he says that.
I don't love it.
That you keep saying that.
Right.
Because you live with somebody before doesn't mean you're some kind of cohabitation expert.
So then, Virginia is very clear. She said that she does not want to move in at his place. Eric retorts, well, I don't want to move in at your place. Virginia said, well, that's cool because I actually want to get a place together. From that point, Eric says, well, how are we going to do that when I own something? So it just makes sense for you to move in my place. So then Eric says that he feels like Virginia is being unreasonable and that he knows where he wants to live after this. But Virginia is saying, listen, it's not that I'm being unreasonable. It's like stairs at your place. You know, we got the cats, we got Rocky. He's not going to be comfortable there. Your place is not practical for the animals.
She also says that she will not feel comfortable living there. She feels like it won't be, oh, we're moving in together. This is our place now.
Right.
It'll be me moving into your place with your things, and I'm going to have to worry about my animals and me messing up your stuff.
Eric's place is very pristine. So, you know, especially when you have animals, you need either a backyard or a room for them so that they can just be animals at the end of the day. And there's no place for that at his place. So, I think Virginia is really like thinking ahead and tries to avoid future conflict, where Eric is just thinking in the moment and he's thinking that Virginia is creating present conflict when she's just trying to avoid future conflict.
I think she's just taking into account the type of person that Eric is.
Yeah.
How he's been with her as far as kind of treating her like a child,
Controlling.
trying to tell her what to do and things like that.
Yeah.
And thinking that he knows everything. And she's thinking, if I move into his house, one, he already says, oh, I don't like cats, and I think I'm allergic to them sometimes, kind of maybe. He really doesn't want the cats there. All it takes is for her to move into his place to feel like, oh, now I have complete and total reign over everything.
Let the cat break one thing.
Exactly. Or let them get into an argument. Well, it's my house, and I just feel like I should be able to woo, woo, woo. Because now he can say whatever he wants and do whatever he wants, and you have to follow his rules because you're in his house. I think she's foreseeing that. And that's why she's standing so firm. It may seem like at first glance she's being unreasonable because it's true. She is renting. It would be easy for her to just, you know, either break her lease or wait till her lease is up and then move in with him. But she knows the type of person that she's dealing with. Even in the conversation, he's talking to her like, no, because I own and you rent, and when you own something, like he's talking to her very condescending, like she's a little kid, like she's a child, like she's slow and she doesn't understand. So imagine me living underneath your roof. Those type of people that are really controlling like that, it grows over time. It gets worse and worse and worse. It may start off as a little like, ooh, what was that? That was annoying. And you can kind of brush it off. Right. But over time, and especially living together,
it's not just what he's saying, it's how he's saying it, and then also things that he's said and done in the past to make her come to this conclusion that this living situation is not going to be ideal. Then we move to their 1 month anniversary, and from here he takes her to where he has the private planes. So they look at some wedding pictures. They also look at their vows, and they read them to each other, which is really sweet. And then he goes and he takes her flying. So then from that point, I guess they say in the confessional that they're just going to decide to brush this living situation under the rug. And here's my thing with Eric and Virginia. They are notorious for doing this. Every time the conversation gets hard, they take a deep breath, walk away from it, and they don't visit it again. That's just a recipe for disaster. That's the same thing that they did last week about the conversation with the exes and the likes and the Instagram. Like, it's it's a pattern for failure.
Then they exchange gifts. Virginia gives Eric a huge blanket with a picture of her and her dog on it. He seems to really like it. And then he gives her a framed printout of the coordinates of the place in which they were married. Mm-hmm. Interesting choice.
I feel like that's a gift that he would appreciate because he's a pilot, so he knows coordinates. But like for us regular people,
that speaks true to Eric's character to me. Like, I'm not gonna get her what I think she would like. I'm gonna get her what I would like, and she gonna like it. Then, they talk about the relationship, and he just says again, they're just acting like nothing happened. Our love just grows every day, and how great it is. And he says, I just hope, things don't change. And they keep saying that to each other. It's like every episode is like, yeah, I hope it doesn't change. Yeah, I hope you don't wake up one day and you don't love me anymore. I just feel like that's their subconscious speaking like, this is not going to work out.
They know.
You sweeping it under the rug looking like this. Rug looking like this with all the stuff you keep sweeping up there. It can't even lay flat no more. It's over here with it, okay?
Looking crazy.
So they know they have all of these problems that they just keep putting on the back burner, but they also know that they're having a good time together. So they're trying to ride out with that and not really address everything else. And I feel like they think that either the problems will just evaporate, dissipate, something, because they have the space that they have with him traveling. They're just like, oh, it'll work itself out. Especially Eric. I don't think Eric puts much thought into it because he doesn't care. He's like, she's going to do what I say and like it.
I think because he has money. He thinks because he has a lot of money, he's well off, and he thinks that she should just be grateful to just be with him.
I told y'all about Eric and his personality he got. He just feels like everybody should do whatever he wants them to do. Say what they just, everybody follow me. I know what I'm doing. Like I said back in episode, I don't even know what episode that was, but he was trying to tell Chris what he need to do.
That part, yeah.
He been trying to tell everybody what to do from day one.
Yeah.
That's his thing. That's what he does. He just feels like he has that right. That privilege, if you will.
So that's it. That's all we got for you guys for season 12, episode 11, part 1.
If you want to hear about Chris and Paige, go to our next video, part 2, the Chris and Paige edition. Y'all know how we do.
Yeah.
We just don't want it to be too long for y'all. We're trying to, I know I got short attention span, okay? Amen? And we're just trying to keep it short for you guys so you guys can absorb it all.
Thank you guys for watching. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to see you guys over in part 2.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Sugar and Spice 88. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all later. Y'all head on over to part 2. And thank you for watching.
Yay. Bye.
Good morning.
Good energy.
Today we gonna spread
good energy.
Today we gonna share
good energy.
I go to work.
Today gonna be a great day.
Good
Wake
energy.
up, thank God, drink water, meditate.
Good
First
energy.
5 minutes will dictate your whole day.
Good
All
energy.
about that positivity and raising up your frequency.
Good
If you
energy.
negative, you will get removed immediately.
Good
Say
energy.
eat clean, alkaline.